This is something I wanted to try and describe to you. Now, I see us in a big bubble, a big dome. And here we've got us. We're down here. And then the little lights that we've got here, they're just the star seeds. And we sit higher than these ones here. But this represents the giants that I see. And they're huge, but they're still with us. But these ones here don't see them. But the higher the frequencies, you then get to start seeing what is above the dome. Because you start seeing and it starts getting revealed. But when you're down here, you don't see. So you see the leaves, an illusion, but you don't see the true self of what's really out there. And this is how I'm seeing it, so they can project anything for you to see where the leaves reside. But the higher the frequency you lift right up, then you start seeing what is truly out there. And this is where I'm feeling. So I'm intuitively connecting, and this is when I told you of I'm starting to connect and I'm seeing the giants, because to me, they're real. They are literally real because my frequency has got higher, so I'm seeing more of what is out there. I'm not seeing down here of the illusion of what is projected for us to see. I'm now feeling it. I'm seeing it through my third eye. I am feeling it and I'm interacting with them, and they are responding to my thought patterns. I don't have to voice. I'm telepathically talking. They're responding. And this is how I'm seeing what is out there. And I'm going to try and put on this clip. There was a rocket, handmade rocket that was made by these scientists, and they let it go. And it hit something. So it went right out there, but it hit. And that's what I'm seeing. A firmament that is above us. So what is really above us is what we're seeing. Because I'm finding it fascinating. The more I'm seeing and putting it into reality, our belief system is only for what we have been told. Unless you're actually out there and seeing it for yourself, how do we know what we've been taught about everything out there is true? And I know when I have participated out there in the spiritual war, I can't say that I saw what we've been told is out there. And no, I don't see the stars. But I know there are planets. But are they the planets that we've been told? I don't know. I don't know about it anymore because I see beyond the planets. I don't know where I go, but where I go out there, it's beautiful. It is the most heartfelt energy out there. And what I'm been recognizing, if we are in this and we're lifting our vibration up and getting higher and higher, we're starting to take our own self out of this dome. The higher we go, aren't we now seeing what's really up here and out? And that's where I'm taking myself to understand, because I'm not resonating to a lot of things that we've been told. and I need to feel it myself. I need to see it. And I'm finding it really amazing because they've got to show you for us to believe. But not even that. When they've done something on a deceit side, they actually have to show us as well. And, you know, when you look at a child, they've created a dome. It has to be a dome. It projects out onto the child's roof for the stars. But what if that is what it is, a projection, till we lift up out of that realm that we find ourselves here? When we come through, what do we see? It's endless. There is no limitations. And I do believe there are other dimensions, there's other light systems, there are planets. And so what I'm trying to say here, what if we are in this dome? There are other energies out here, dimensions, above and so below. They always say it. Above and so below. Because twice now, I've seen the giants. And I've seen two different, completely different. I've seen one that's so ginormous and one really big as well. But I'm also researching now is the Tartarian and the history behind it. And I know here in New Zealand, we've got a lot of amazing buildings, but when you look at the history of the building and the architecture of it, the opening of that building was so much higher. But they've hidden away a lot of our history, so they've re-established the building and brought it further down, as in the front door. So they've brought it down, but yet they've put a big stained glass or something above to hide that it was actually a far greater door. Was that for the giants that were there? And I'll put some pictures up of them. And why am I seeing them? Why are they real to me? Because I'm sensing them and I'm interacting with them. They're responding to me. And the way I saw, I'm just going to take like this piece of paper here. Let's say that giant, he was out here looking in, communicating with me. But he was up here and I was pretty much up here, so I could see him. What if there is another civilization of them and they are living? Another thing I'm exploring as well. Is there another civilization under here with us? They are also living, because there's a part in one of my sections that when I go there, I literally can feel the energy underneath. It's another city. And I can feel them, and I love going out there and mowing the lawn because I feel like I really connect. So if that is there, they're living under there. What's out here? There is so much to explore, and it's getting exciting because the higher you resonate out there, you can now start seeing through the veil, because the veil is coming down. And slowly, the more you increase your ability to see, you start seeing. And honestly, it's an incredible feeling when you can sense, see, and feel another energy form communicating back with you. And I'm not scared of them. So it's time to start looking it up, start researching, start looking into our lost history, because it's absolutely fascinating. And it's helping me understand that what I'm seeing, and others would discredit me, it is real. And the more I'm researching and seeing that, you know, in the 1840s, there are the pictures of the giants that are way taller than ourselves. Where did they go? Who were they? Why are our buildings being adjusted? So you go back and have a look at your old structures of your buildings in your own countries, and really take a good look at the height in the windows. And even in town, in Auckland actually is even probably one of the better ones, is that they have a road, they have the building, and then the road is like this, but the building has been cut off. But there's windows that are actually at the bottom or cut in half from the roadside. What if something wiped them out? What if they were real? Why do you build windows in a house that a road covers up most of it? Why do a lot of buildings would house a giant, but yet have been restructured for our height? You see the little man at the bottom, but if you look at the top of the door, there is a latch that comes down, and it can only come down if you were a giant. So these doors were built for giants. What part of history and why have they scrubbed from us in our reality? Because I can definitely say I see them, I feel them, and the more I tune myself to receiving from them, and then when I see the pictures and I look at the history, I resonate. Is that on a spiritual path I've followed, but I didn't resonate. I didn't want to learn it. I didn't want to participate in it. So many of my friends have, but I haven't. And it didn't make sense. Why didn't I resonate? And yet others got a lot from what they've learnt. And we are all on different paths. We are all learning at different, because we're all on different timelines. But it would make sense that what we've been told is not in reality. It is also for us to worship their God. So what have you learned that could be the opposite? What could be entangled into something that is not right? But I know that's going to be revealed to you, and I'm not going to be the one to say it. But it's really making me think now. And anything to do with symbolization, symbols. And that is what the Freemasons have done. It's there's symbolism. Everything's symbolism. And it's made me really think, because I don't know, everything that we know we have to look at, and it's the mirror of. So we've been taught is good, but it's a mirror, so you've got to look at the mirror side. What have they said for us is good? When you look at the mirror side of it, it's them. So we're worshipping their side. So be careful, just be more open to start thinking, because everything we see out there, we're now having to take a step back and take a really good hard look at everything that we've been involved in and what our beliefs are. And especially for myself, it was a big one, is, you know, my religion. And I do not have a religion now. I do believe in God, but I do not need to be in a church. And I do not need to be hearing something over and over and over, because it is brainwashed. It is like our educational system. So I'm very well aware, and now I'm looking at every aspect of my life, of what I've learned. Could it have been inverted? Is it what is for the betterment? So it's going to be really interesting when things start rolling out, but stay strong. Follow your heart on everything that you do. Don't do it because you're told to do it, or it just feels right, or everybody else is doing it. Start looking at what you've learned. Does it feel right? Do you resonate to it? And when you start looking at things like this and sit in your heart space, allow your own discernment to come through and just keep lifting. That's all I keep saying to you, is just lift, because that, when, like I said here, the higher you lift, the more that you will see. Because when you're down here, you can only see this. Start lifting and connecting, because there is more out there for you to see. And when you see, it's incredible. And this is what I'm about, exploring, and I want to be up and out there and learn, because the light is guiding you. So follow the light, follow the guidance, because now everything that we've learned is old. It's in the lower frequencies. It's time now to start taking in what feels right and what you're picking up. And it's powerful. But, you know, this is my own belief system, only because of the images. They've got me constantly. They're just downloading so many thought patterns that are coming through, and they give me little bits and pieces of this and that and this, and I'm putting it all together, and it's creating a new reality for me. But what I've learned through this, there is a lot that I can't say just yet, because I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. But it's something for everybody to start looking at. And I do know that the white hats will have been stepping in to help us. And everybody has been protected, or no matter what they've been doing anyway. But aren't we adding to the strength of this illusion if we're honouring their illusion? This is where it's time for us to step back. Step back and look. Take bits and pieces of what we've learned out there, but bring it into yourself. Hold it in and use the tools in a way that you're not limiting yourself, because that's one thing that I've noticed, is that different concepts a lot of people have learned, and as I said, I didn't resonate to, and I thought I was the problem, and I thought that why was I weird and not wanting to learn what everybody else is learning? But I didn't feel it. I didn't resonate to it. And now it makes sense, because I didn't limit myself, because that was my problem. is that I found what they were learning was limited by what they were, it was a structured concept. And if you were born with a gift, there's no limit on it. There is no point that you can't go any further. That's what I struggled with, because I didn't feel that I wanted to be here. I wanted to go past. I didn't believe that there was a capping. And gifts are limitless. Miracles are a vibration you connect to that you have a belief in. Miracles are you setting up the energy, the intention. And if you don't believe in miracles and you believe on the teachings that you've been passed on, you're limited. Miracles are past that, and you go out and bring it into your being now. So believe in yourself. Hold your own faith with your abilities of where you want to go. The sky's the limit. Do not stop yourself. Follow that light that keeps shining within you, that your whole being is just vibrating, because that's what I'm doing. And it can be lonely because there's no instruction manual, and that's one thing I've always said. There's no instruction manual for what I do, and you have to seek it alone. But the beauty of when you seek it alone, that is when you travel further, because you have more determination. You are not limited by somebody else's projection on you. So don't limit yourself. Let me see you out there, shine out there. And that is actually another point. So many people have said other mediums don't want to share their gift and don't want somebody else to come up as big as them. I want everybody to be where I am, because it can be lonely. So climb up with me. Let's create this new world, because we can all do it. I'm no one special. I'm just somebody that wanted to share my personal findings of what I've gone through. Because if I can help you climb and fly with me, you can do it with us, and we can be bigger and bigger and brighter. Because the more of us that come together, we shine our light, and by gosh, we will shine our light in all the crevices, the dark places, because it's time to dissolve what they've been putting on us. And of course, they've inverted a lot of our beliefs, and they've put a lot of money and people to create for us to follow. But be careful of what you've learnt. Be very careful. And who you've followed as well. Just step back. I've put this out here because we've all been fooled out there. And every aspect, from our food to our water to the air that we breathe, to our education, government, the whole lot. Why wouldn't they have done it also into the ones on the spiritual side? We're no one special, but they could also intervene with us as well. So be very careful and mindful. Okay, so I'm going to leave this with you because I know it's a bit deep, and I've tried to not step on anyone's feet, but it's just something that I've really have seen so much of. People wanting to be better than others and not bringing them with you. And and it being limited. There is no limit, because the sky is the limit, and the sky has no ending. So climb as high as you can go and take the cap off and get out there, because we are just magical beings of light and of energy, and we can create the best life for ourselves and our family. So go out there and shine your light. Thank you for listening for this one, because as I know it's been a bit tricky one to bring forth, but when you understand, you'll understand. So thank you so much. I love you. Click the like, subscribe, because yeah, we know why. It's limited, but let's blow that lid on that as well. Okay, thank you.